Hello and welcome back, and I'm here with an exciting update. The Duke of Sussex will be appearing in a new documentary about phone hacking, ITV has announced. So the Duke of Sussex sat down with reporter BRAVERY, where he discussed his aim to expose what he describes as, quote, illegal activities of Britain's tabloid newspapers, end quote. The show will also feature Hugh Grant, Charlotte Church, and Paul Gascoigne, and will appear on ITV1 on July the 25th at 9 p.m. So that is the news update that has gone out. It is breaking news. As we know, the Duke of Sussex has been fighting the good fight. He has been in several court cases against many of these tabloids in the UK. He had his court case against the Daily Mirror publisher, Mirror Group Newspapers, MGN, that began in May 2023. So I'm sure that this documentary will have so many interesting perspectives and insights. And the MGN lawsuit was a joint one over accusations of historical phone hacking. And it started, as I mentioned before, last year. And the Duke of Sussex made history, giving evidence in person last June. I did cover that in depth. If you want to know more details, click the links in the cards and at the end screen. So as I mentioned before, it is one of multiple cases against the tabloid press by Harry over the last few years. And Harry has been so bold. I cannot wait to hear him talking about how he had to take the stand and not only give testimony, but be cross-examined over the allegations. And ex-Daily Mirror editor, Piers Morgan, who he has named personally, who knows, perhaps he might touch on that. And Harry, as I mentioned, has been one of the key players as a group litigation, and he was not the only claimant. So as we've seen in some of the court cases, that he has also been joined by Hugh Grant, who I think he had to step back a while. He mentioned that it was just too costly for him to go forward. But they are taking the fight now, I feel, on this new platform, letting people know what this is all about. And we've seen Harry have many victories along the way. Mirror Group Newspapers was ordered to pay the Duke of Sussex £140,600, that is 180,000 US dollars, in damages to Harry by the British High Court for hacking his cell phone multiple times. And it was a major victory that Harry had in his long-standing battle with the country's tabloid press. And according to the judge overseeing that case, he found that Harry's device was targeted several times between 2003 and 2009. So that is a huge spanning period of Harry's life. And I'm looking forward to him touching more on that in this documentary, as well as, of course, the other litigants who are with him discussing this. And it was quite noteworthy that the judge found that at least 15 articles published by the outlet were based on information derived from hacking incidents or, quote, other unlawful information gathering, end quote. And the judge noted that Harry's phone was hacked to a modest extent and the process was, quote, carefully controlled, end quote, but added that it caused the British royal distress, end quotes. They also talked about the former Mirror CEO, Sly Bailey, who was aware of the extensive hacking taking place at the newspaper group and that he had turned a blind eye to the problem. And, you know, it's worth mentioning that a lot of you have pointed out that Harry is very, very courageous to take on the press. And the tabloid press in Britain, they are a formidable force that Harry has stood up against. And of course, I want to highlight Harry's mic drop statement in his victory against MGN. Prince Harry said that that day for him was, quote, a great day for truth as well as accountability, in quotes. And Harry called the victory vindicating and affirming, in quotes. And this was the mic drop part of it all. He said, quote, I've been told that slaying dragons will get you burned. But in light of today's victory and the importance of doing what is needed for a free and honest press, it is a worthwhile price to pay. The mission continues, end quote. This was part of a larger statement, and I will leave links to that if you want to read the whole statement in full here on this channel. And he did call out, many editors who worked at the Daily Mirror from 1996 to 2004, who even the judge said that they did not do anything to stop the, quote, widespread unlawful behavior. So we know that Harry he is just truly a soldier. In his own way, this is him continuing on with that mission, and the boldness that he has displayed to call out the unlawful, appalling behavior that was carried out by the British tabloids during that time has been something that is so needed for the British public. And I'm sure that this is something that so many can be proud of. And, we wish Harry all the best, even now as he is still continuing on this journey of getting justice. I hope that we all continue to pray for him as well. And even as I've mentioned here before, we have seen a lot of fierce criticism against Harry and Meghan. And I've always wanted to bring to everyone's attention that as Harry was still in the process of taking on the tabloid press, that, perhaps it would be for those who are not necessarily in the Harry and Meghan camp to at least consider that some of the backlash against this couple does not necessarily stem from, that very pure place, because Harry is taking on some of these same entities as well. Kudos to the Duke of Sussex. I think this is going to be so insightful. I hope to hear him talking about his time on the stand, because it was a history-making moment. And, just having him go in depth into all that he went through in those early years, formative years of his life, and, just having his phone hacked, that is just something that is truly appalling. So I hope he opens up about that and, we get to hear his side of the story. He has not been whinging as some of the press have been putting it out there. He is truly going for justice. And Harry's lawyer, David Sherborne, who has been such a champion for Harry in these cases, told journalists that the court found the Mirror's group leadership, including former editor Piers Morgan, clearly knew about or were involved in those illegal activities, in quotes. Remember that mic drop statement by David Sherborne saying, quote, "Today is a great day for truth as well as accountability. The court has ruled that unlawful and criminal activity was carried out at all three Mirror Group newspaper titles on a habitual and widespread basis for more than a decade," end quote. He also added that Harry, quote, "respectfully calls for authorities, the financial regulator, stock markets, and the Metropolitan Police and prosecuting authorities to do their duty for the British public and investigate bringing charges against the company and those who broke the law," end quote. So this is very monumental once again for Harry to open up in this setting, talking one-on-one here in this documentary with Becca Barry, where he will, as I said before, discuss his aim to expose the illegal activities of Britain's tabloid newspapers. And I think a while ago, a couple of you do remember this, Harry mentioned that he was not doing this only for himself. He was doing this for the larger British public at large, and helping the environment that they are in, having them raise a standard for those who are in these huge platforms to bring news to people that is curated through the right means, and also helping that society to have a more healthy environment with the press, those who not only are reporting the news but also consuming it. So this is fantastic news. I want to share this with you. Share your thoughts with me on this in the comment section below. As always, before we log off, allow me here to thank those of you who support this channel financially and shout out a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you to you, Georgia Walker. Thank you for the love and generosity that you have continued to demonstrate here on this channel. Thank you for being a blessing to all of us. You're valued. Thank you. I love you. And a very special thank you to you, Sylvia Ward. I pray for God every day to bless you and yours. Thank you for every way that you engage. Your thoughtful comments as well mean so much. I appreciate you for always going above and beyond in your support for my work here. You mean so much to me. Thank you. A very special thank you right now to you who gave through super thanks. Thank you to Alma Andrews. Alma, I would like to say thank you. Once again, you are just so supportive of my work here. You have always shown such love and kindness in your giving, and that has not gone unnoticed. You are so dear to me. Thank you, and God bless you. So once again, share your thoughts on all this news in the comment section below. And remember, this week, the Duke of Sussex will also be honored on July the 11th. The Duke of Sussex will be honored with this year's Pat Tillman Award. So let's keep that hype train going. Thank you all for watching. If you like this one, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, and also follow on Twitter or X. I'd love to see you on there as well. Let's keep each other in prayers. I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.